Hi, welcome to Cyber Safety Saturday. This is Lemmy Rinkatola, and I am so excited to announce that we have a special guest for you today, Kyla Guru. And for those of you who are wondering, where is Ruchi? Ruchi is actually traveling this weekend, taking a family vacation to the southern part of the Midwest. And so she's enjoying that time. Filling in for Ruchi is Kyla Guru. Let me just do a quick introduction. Kyla is 15 years old. Amazing. She's 15 years old. She's still in high school. And basically, she has been involved with cyber safety, cybersecurity, and coming up with brilliant ideas to share on how we can protect technologies, not only for today, but for the future. She is a speaker across the country. She visits schools and classrooms, and she shares all of her wisdom and knowledge. Those of you who will be in Chicago in the month of June, you'll have an opportunity to listen to Kyla at the Chicago TED Talk on June 12th. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Kyla, and she's going to share some of her interesting background with you as well. So you get to know her a little bit better, and then she's going to share some tips and strategies on today's Cyber Safety Saturday episode. Welcome, Kyla.
Hi, thank you, Ms. Erin Katola. I'm so excited to be here and excited to share my story with the world and with all the viewers. So let's get started. Today's Byte is about some different resources that you can use to keep your kids safe, keep yourself safe, and just be a more educated user of the internet. So first, I'll start off by introducing myself. I am Kyla Guru. I'm 15 years old, as was said, and I'm still in high school, so I'm a sophomore, going to be a junior next year in high school at Deerfield High School in a small suburb outside of Chicago. And so I really got interested in cybersecurity the summer after my 8th grade, when I saw all these news stories about what was happening in the industry and just seeing all these data breaches and companies coming forward with talking about cyber attacks that were happening. And so I did a little more research, and I got more and more curious as I went into the field. And after I went to a camp, especially at Purdue University, I got to talk with a lot of professors and PhD students who are on the forefront of this issue and who are doing leading research in why was public Wi-Fi not safe for people to use, and different topics that were so intriguing to me. And that's when I really knew that cybersecurity was the industry that I wanted to be in, even at such a young age. And what really turned me to focus on the mission of Bits and Bytes itself is knowing and hearing that human error was such a big problem in the industry, and hearing that humans were the weakest link. I felt really obligated to share the lessons that I had learned in the camp and through my research with the world, and make sure that people were more educated and more empowered to use technology safely as users. So just to start us off, the future of technology is going to be amazing, and there's no doubt about that. The 21st century will be equivalent to the last 20,000 years of development, and that's crazy to think about how much development we're having in today's day right now. And we can see this in so many different industries, in agriculture, and with all the applications of machine learning and robotics in different industries. And we can definitely see that our homes are going to transition into these smart homes filled with different IoT devices that are Internet of Things. And we're going to see this transition. We're going to live through it. And most importantly, our kids are going to live through it. And my generation and the generation after is going to live through it and be building these devices in the future. So with this massive growth of technology and this exciting forefront that we're living to see, we're also going to see this growth in sophistication of the bad guys, the hackers, the con. If there's always a pro, there's got to be a con, and this is it. This is the cybersecurity, and what's happening behind these devices is that there's a team and there's people who are making sure that nobody can get a handle of this data, because there's going to be so much massive loads of data. And so there is definitely this side of like today there are over 1 million cyber attacks daily in the United States alone. And that's not accounting for, cyber warfare and things that are happening state to state and nation to nation. And so this problem itself is going to get even bigger. And that is why my mission, I'm constantly fueled to empower people and to teach about this, because it's so dynamic and it's ever changing, and it's going to be here for as long as we have technology. So my mission with Bits and Bytes, and this has been my mission from the start, from when I started it as, a wide-eyed freshman in high school looking at the world and wanting to be a change maker. I asked myself, how will the build the next rocket to Mars if they're burdened with clicking a malicious link or getting a spurious email or seeing malware on their device? And I asked myself, how will they cure cancer? How will they use biotechnology and use technology to the fullest of their ability when they're hit with some ransomware attack and they don't know how to handle that situation? So this was a question that I kept asking myself and was always in my mind as I partnered with these schools, and as I started talking to crowds about these issues. I kept thinking about how will the next generation be the leaders. So a couple different ways that the students can become leaders is by utilizing the resources that are already out there for them. And what's the biggest piece about this is that parents are the leaders in this too. They have to, teach about this in their homes from the minute that the child, touches the device or starts using the device. And so one of these said resources is called Web of Trust. And Web of Trust is really unique in that it's a free resource, and it's on Google Chrome, which most of us use as our browser these days. And so it's on Google Chrome, it's free, and it's there for you. When you do a Google search, it immediately brings up a green or a red or a yellow check mark to tell you that it's a safe website, or if something a bit spooky or malicious, it seems to be on there, it tells you that. And it gives you a little layout of what can you expect about the credibility of this website and who made this website, and it analyzes that for you. So it really streamlines that process of you having to analyze things. And so this is just a quick, easy way to do that, and it's free and it's online. So Google this and search it up and make sure you download it on your device, because it's an easy way to build up your cyber fortress. Another resource that I tell all my students to look into is called Virustotal. And, all of us upload different files to our computer every day, and especially kids nowadays with games, they, download Fortnite, which is such a big deal right now, or download different games online. And some of the time, these downloads carry with them some malware or keyloggers or things that are dangerous to our computer. And so Virustotal, what it does is you can input a link or any sort of, it could be a hash or an IP address, which is what is your IP address of your computer, of your laptop, or you could even put in the file. And then once you click submit, it runs it through about, 1,000 or 100 something, 500 virus checkers, and it scans that for you. And if something it checks to be a little off, it puts a red check by it, and it tells you that it might be unsafe to click and run on your laptop, which is a really neat way to keep a hold of your cybersecurity as well, because downloads are an everyday thing, but sometimes they can be a little spurious and carry with them some things that can really harm your computer. So Virustotal checks that off for you. And then I also wanted to share Have I Been Pawned? It's one of my favorites. It's kind of fun to play with, and it's really user-friendly and really clean to look at, and it lays it out for you. So what Have I Been Pawned is a site where you can type in your email address or your mom's or your dad's email address, and you can check. It will list off places where it reports that your email has been breached. So what it means to have your email breached is that your email and your password is compromised. It's with a hacker or with whoever caused this data breach. In this picture, you can see like Adobe, this data breach. That would mean that your email has been compromised in that breach. Or it can also give you pastes. And what that means is that on the deep and dark net, there are sites where hackers can go and paste information about users, and they can sell them to other malicious and bad people. And so on these sites, it's called a paste because what they do is they just paste your information, paste your email and your password onto their site so that it's available for hackers everywhere. But have I been pawned? What it does is it tells you that this happened so that you can immediately change your password and immediately be on top of that control of your email. And so if you see that anything has been happening, you can immediately get that done. And so that's why I like it, because if you're checking it regularly, it can become a really good way for you to get a hold of your cybersecurity and make sure that you are in control rather than some hacker.
So in this case, Kyla, you would
Yes.
have your email address.
Yes.
If you have multiple email addresses, then you would do that accordingly. And if you see any red flags, then the next step would be to change your password.
Yes, the next step is change your password. That's definitely it, because what they have done is that they've put your password, someone else has a hold of your password in your email. So if they have a hold of this, then you're going to want to change your password to that account. And what the issue with this is a lot of the time we have the same password for multiple things. So, and hackers know that. They know that we are sort of lazy in that way. We use passwords in multiple places because it's genuinely easy for us. But if you change your password and it's the same, it's the same password for something else, make sure to change both of those passwords, because you don't want hackers to know that you have that password.
Right, that's right. And how often do you recommend using this tool?
It's as often as you can, really, because in today's day, data breaches happen weekly. So if you know that this is also a good reason why you should be, looking at the news and seeing if, when Uber got hacked, you should be seeing if you're an Uber user. And so it's really important to just stay on top of it as soon as you see some sort of news report about it. And with that, I would say, like weekly or bi-weekly or whatever you're comfortable with. Just keep in mind that the more services you use, the more websites that you sign up for, that just, I guess, increases your risk. But also, this is a good way to keep track of how your accounts are doing in all of those websites.
Yeah, this is an excellent tool. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And then I wanted to share that, so I run a blog weekly, and it's called Bits and Bytes Cybersecurity blog. And so it's either I'm writing blogs or I'm featuring other professional writers who are working in the industry or who have done work in the industry. I've featured some Forbes writers before who are the head of securities at their companies. I've done teachers, parents, people who are just concerned and have stories to share about these kind of issues and want to educate the world about them. So my blog really lays out different topics like fake news and the truth about what happens with your data in Snapchat, and data privacy and different breaches. And the one I wrote one last night, it was about GDPR, and that's a general data protection regulation. And those are the new rules that are being put in place to protect our data. So it just informs you about those kind of things. And it's really, the purpose of it is that it's really easy to read. So whether you're 5, whether you're 95 and above, you can definitely look at this resource and utilize it and be aware of these problems that are happening. And so to stay notified, the website link is www.bitsbytes.us.com. And follow me on Twitter. I'll have the name of it on the next page, but it's at Guru Detective. And so I post on my Twitter and my LinkedIn about whenever I make a blog post. So be sure to follow and keep reading, keep informed. That's the best way to stay on top of it. And it's important to know that it's not something that you should be scared of, because honestly, security is something that we care about on a daily basis, whether or not it be with computers. You know, we care about keeping our home secure when we're sleeping and turning on our alarms, and we care about these things and locking our cars. And so these are things we do every day. And so cybersecurity is just the same. It's just handling these small things in order to build up your cyber fortress. And so it's really not something you should be scared of. It's something that should empower you to be more aware about your device and take control of your cybersecurity in order to really own your technology. And there are multiple resources out here to help you do that, and I am one of them. So
Yes, you
thank
are.
you. Thank you so much for having me. Please follow my Twitter at Guru Detective, and be sure to either email me or let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Reach out to me, feel free to, at kylaguru@gmail.com, and I look forward to speaking with you. Stay safe, everyone.
Oh, everyone stay safe. Thank you so much. I know you have to run. And I think I may have mispronounced your name in the beginning, called you Kayla instead of Kyla. So I
No
apologize. We have a
problem.
lot of Kaylas in our
No
classroom.
problem.
Spelled exactly the way you spelled your name. So it's an honest
Oh,
mistake.
really?
But thank you so much for sharing this wealth of information. We'd like to invite you back maybe later after a couple of conferences. I know you've got a busy summer schedule. And for those of you who are watching, please remember to subscribe below. Hit the subscribe button. Let us know that you like the content we're bringing, and share some ideas. Put some ideas in the comments or shoot us an email at the email link below there. And thank you for taking the time out. Stay safe, everyone, and enjoy.
Thank you for
Bye,
having me.
Kyla. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.